we are honored with the presence of our esteemed guest, His Excellency Shri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Governor of the State of Goa, Shri N. Vinay Hegde, Chancellor of Nitte deemed to be University, Dr. Satish Chandra S., Secretary, STME Society Ujire, Shri Prithviraj Rai, President, Mangalore Bar Association, Shri Narayan Bhatt, President, Golden Jubilee Committee. May I now request our Principal, Dr. Taranath, and Shri Sridhar Yanmakaje, Secretary of Mangalore Bar Association, to kindly escort the dignitaries onto the dais. I, Nelvita Norona, deem it my privilege to welcome you to this distinguished gathering for the special lecture on KESHAVANANDA Bharathi Judgment and Growth of Indian Constitutional Jurisprudence. Today, we delve into a pivotal moment in the history of Indian constitutional law, the KESHAVANANDA Bharathi Judgment. This landmark case, decided by the Supreme Court of India, has had far-reaching implications and has shaped the course of our nation's legal landscape. Let us now rise in the spirit of unity and reflection for a moment of prayer. In this shared moment, let our hearts be open, our minds be receptive, and our spirits be attuned to the higher purpose that binds us together. May I request Suprita and Adil, students of SDM Law College, to lead us into prayer. May I please request the gathering to please rise for the national
Surapujita Kama Bhairim Gaurish Shankara Maheshwara Vishwahetu Shambho Girisha Surapujita Kama Bhairim Dharmastalesha Sakalesha Dayapayode Shri Manjunath Nitara Kuru Mangalam Me Dharmastalesha Sakalesha Dayapayode Shri Manjunath Nitara Kuru Mangalam Me Kuru Mangalam Me Kuru Mangalam Me.
As we mark a great event commemorating a landmark judgment, may I invite Shri Narayan Bhatt, President of Golden Jubilee Committee, to present the introductory remarks.
The blessings of His Holiness Shri Satchidananda Bharat Swamiji, Adanir Mr. P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Governor, State of Goa, Shri N. Vinay Hegde, Honorable Chancellor of Nitte University, Dr. Satish Chandra S. Secretary, SDME Society Ujire, Mr. Prithviraj Rai, President, Bar Association Mangalore, Dr. Taranatha, Principal, SDM Law College Mangalore, Mr. Sridhar Yanmakaje, Secretary, Bar Association Mangalore, respected senior and junior lawyers, law students, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in the beginning, I want to give a brief introduction of the program, how we started this program and how we formed a committee for Golden Jubilee celebration, etc. We have organized a lecture today. We have organized a lecture on Sri KESHAVANANDA Bharathi Judgment in continuation of our celebration of Golden Jubilee celebration of the landmark judgment Sri KESHAVANANDA Bharathi Sripadangalore versus State of Kerala and another. We are very glad today to have with us Honorable Shri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Governor of Goa, because we thought that he is the fit person for giving the lecture and to be called as a guest today because he is an authority in this subject and he has also written books on the Constitution also, Indian Constitution. Now the disciples of Adnirmat have thought it fit to bring awareness about the important points raised in Sri Keshavananda Bharati case among the students and public. The seminar with the presentation of the matter, with the discussion, will help the students, advocates and public to enrich their knowledge. They felt it is appropriate to arrange seminars at the time of 50 years after the judgment. I feel it is my privilege to be with you on all the occasion of this purpose. We have formed the committee with the association of the President and Secretaries of the Bar Associations of Kasaragod District, Dakshina Kannada District, Udupi District, and the Directors and Principals of Law Colleges of Manjeshwar, SDM Law College Mangalore, Vivekananda Law College Putturu, KVG Law College Sulya, and Sri Vaitkunta Baliga Law College Udupi. This function is organized by the Bar Association Mangalore in association with the SDM Law College Mangalore and Golden Jubilee Celebration Committee of Sri Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji's case. His Holiness Sri Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji Adnirmat filed a writ petition in 1970 under Article 32 of the Constitution for enforcement of fundamental rights under Articles 25, 26, 14, 19, 1 and 31 of the Constitution. He prayed for striking out the provisions of Kerala Land Reforms Act 1969 to be declared as unconstitutional. Indian Parliament passed 3 constitutional amendments, that is 24th Amendment, 25th Amendment and 29th Amendment in the meanwhile, amending the Constitution during the pendency of the writ petition. The petitioner, Sri Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji, was permitted to amend the writ petition so as to challenge the validity of these 3 amendments. Totally 6 petitions were heard together, but the main case was Sri Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji's case. The Constitutional Bench of the Honorable Apex Court referred the case to a larger bench consisting of 13 judges, being the full strength of the then bench of the Supreme Court. The main issue involved therein was as to what is the extent of amending powers conferred by Article 368 of the Constitution besides Article 13(2) with the Parliament. The case was heard for several months. Eminent jurists like N.A. Palkiwala, Mr. C.K. Daftari, Mr. M.C. Chagla, Mr. Soli Saurabhji, Mr. Ajit Dhawan and Mr. K.H. Harindranath and several other jurists, advocates appeared for the petitioners and argued the case. Never in the history of the Honorable Supreme Court of India such legal luminaries were arranged on either side. Finally, after hearing the majority of the judges, they held that the Parliament has no power of amending the Constitution so as to take away or abridge the basic structures or framework of the Constitution. Now we are very glad that one of the judges who signed the majority view is Honorable Justice K.S. Hegde, native of South Kannada district, who is the father of today's our guest of honor, Sri N. Vinay Hegde, and Honorable Mr. Justice Santosh Hegde, retired Judge, Supreme Court of India and Chairman of Karnataka Lokayukta. After pronouncing the judgment, in Keshavananda Bharati case, 3 judges were superseded, including Justice K.S. Hegde, and later Justice K.S. Hegde resigned from the post of Judge of the Supreme Court. The details I am not telling because our Honorable Chief Guest is speaking on the subject, so I don't want to tell the further details. It's also worth mentioning that Justice K.S. Hegde, and thereafter he was elected as a member of Parliament, and he became the Speaker of Indian Parliament. Even before elevation as a judge before the Supreme Court, he was a member of the Rajya Sabha during 1952 to 1957. Justice K.S. Hegde's tenure as a judge of the Supreme Court was notable for his learned judgments, which were characterized by basic legal principles and practical common sense. The end of the judicial career was equally notable for his sense of self-respect and dignity, which he attached to his office, as he resigned his office without slightest hesitation. And we are glad that he belongs to our place. And further, we are also glad that Sri KESHAVANANDA Bharati Swamiji's case, in his name judgment is there. He also belongs to our place, former South Canara, now Kasaragod district. So, while forming the committee, we thought that it is better to form a committee by including all the advocates and publics of this former Madras State South Canara. The validity or otherwise of the provisions of the amendments were made to the Kerala Land Reforms Act was referred to the Constitution Bench, which was thereafter held to be valid. Now, few days ago, Justice Deepankar Datta, Honorable Judge Supreme Court of India, had an occasion to observe at Nani Palkiwala Memorial Conclave that ink of Keshavananda Bharati judgment may fade, words will not. So also, I remember the words of Justice jurist, famous jurist, greatest jurist, Sri N.A. Palkiwala, while describing the case, that history may look upon Keshavananda Bharati case as the greatest contribution of India to the constitutional jurisprudence. Now, even though Sri Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji lost the case, practically as a representative of the citizens of India, he is instrumental in the landmark decisions to save the democracy, inasmuch the judgment declared that no amendment will be valid if it destroys the basic structure. It is a very historical judgment. Now, therefore, before concluding, I request the concerned dignitaries that to recommend to the central government to award Padma Vibhushana Award for 2024 posthumously to Sri Keshavananda Bharati. I also request the central government with the dignitaries to open a constitution study center in the name of Sri Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji. So that will be the proper tribute to him, and I pray that our wishes will be maybe fulfilled. Thank you.
The urge to learn in the air is palpable, and we are eager to embark on this journey together. We acknowledge the presence of eminent lawyers, academicians, and students from various places. To officially welcome you all and set the tone for the event, I would now like to invite Dr. Tarnath, Principal of SDM Law College, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Manjunathe Namaha, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, all distinguished guests, dear students, it gives me an immense pleasure in inviting each and every one of you for this guest lecture. This guest lecture is too special in view of two reasons. One, the impact of Keshavananda judgment on constitutional jurisprudence in India, and another due to initiative taken by His Holiness Sri Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji to organize series of events to commemorate the 50th year of KESHAVANANDA Bharati in an unique and distinct manner across India, reminding all of us that the KESHAVANANDA case is the beginning of, I would say, the second constitution for we the Indians. As the culture of our land adores sages and saints with the utmost sanctity, attributing divinity and blessings for every step of our life, I take this opportunity to extend a very cordial welcome to His Holiness Sri 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 Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji of Edniru Mutt for Swamiji's esteemed presence and seek Swamiji's blessings for every one of us in spearheading this movement. On behalf of everyone, I extend cordial welcome to Sri Sri Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji. Welcome to you, Swamiji. And attention of today's program is His Excellency Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, the Honorable Governor of State of Goa, an acclaimed jurist and an excellent administrator. Let me give a very brief introduction of His Excellency Sri Sridharan Pillai. Honorable Governor, His Excellency Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai was born on 1st December 1954 in Venmoy, Cochin district of Kerala. His Excellency had obtained his law degree from Government Law College, Kozhikode, and embarked into legal career. During His Excellency's student days, His Excellency was an active member of Akhila Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad and served as the president of BJP unit at Kozhikode district, state secretary as well as the general secretary, and was made as the president of BJP of state of Kerala. In his legal career, His Excellency had served as the president of Calicut Bar Association. His Excellency was appointed as the governor of Mizoram by the Honorable President of India and served as the governor of Mizoram in between 2019 to 2021 and later appointed as governor of Goa since 2021. His Excellency is a prolific writer and has in his credit authoring more than 192 books. His Excellency's spouse is also an advocate at Kozhikode, and Excellency is blessed with 2 children who excelled in their respective professions. His Excellency, apart from being a prolific writer, is also an excellent orator. We at SDM Law College feel proud with the esteemed presence of Honorable Governor Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai amidst us. On behalf of entire organizing committee and President of SDM Education Society, Puja Dr. D. Virendra Hegde, I extend very cordial welcome to Honorable Governor, His Excellency Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai. Welcome, His Excellency. Has its limelight in South Canara due to 2 reasons. One, Edniru Mutt, and the second, man from our own land who was a part of KESHAVANANDA case and also showed judicial integrity by resigning on account of superseding of judges aftermath of KESHAVANANDA Bharati case, who is none other than Kaduru Sadananda Hegde, popularly known as Justice K.S. Hegde. Today, we have amidst us a worthy son of worthy father, Sri N. Vinay Hegde, an architect of Nitte Education Institutions and Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nitte University, as well as Chairman of Nitte Group of Institutions. He is an educationist, philanthropist, and a great visionary. I take this opportunity to welcome Sri Vinay Hegde on this occasion. Welcome, sir. Dr. Satish Chandra S., the Honorable Secretary of SDM Education Society, Ujire, he is a man with a commitment and dedication. Within a short span of becoming Secretary of SDM Education Society, he has shown an interest in reforming and reformulating educational activity of SDM Education Institution, carrying on his shoulders the vision of late Dr. B. Yashavarma and the rich legacy of Dharmasthala. He is kind enough to grace this occasion. I, on behalf of all organizers, extend a very cordial welcome to Dr. S. Satish Chandra, respected Secretary of SDM Society, Ujire. Welcome to you, sir. Bar Association, Sri K. Prithviraj Rai, is a dynamic man with a lots of enthusiasm. He played key role in making this guest lecture to happen in our college. He will be presiding over today's guest lecture. I take lots of happiness in welcoming Mr. K. Prithviraj Rai on this occasion. We have amidst us one more guest, Mr. Narayan Bhatt, the President of Golden Jubilee Committee, who played a very crucial role in organizing this lecture. On behalf of all of us, I extend a very cordial welcome to Sri Narayan Bhatt. The Secretary of Mangalore Bar Association, G. Sridhar Enmakaje, is equally enthusiastic and proactive in all our endeavors. I welcome him with a plenty of regards and respect. Welcome to you, sir. We have amidst us Mrs. Rita Sridharan Pillai. I extend a cordial welcome to you. We have also ex-MLC Karnik sir. I extend a very warm welcome to you. President and members of Alumni Association, Parent Teacher Association, distinguished legal stalwarts from various bar associations, especially Mangalore, Beltangadi, Puttur, Sulya, senior lawyers, heads of our sister institutions, teaching and non-teaching staff of 3 sister institutions, chief secretary and members of student executive council. For all you, I extend welcome with lots of gratitude. We are happy to be in the midst of media coverage due to wide publicity given by media personnel. I welcome representatives of both print and electronic media. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for these warm words of welcome. We would now like to felicitate the dignitaries on behalf of STM Educational Society, Ujire. First and foremost, may I request our Honorable Secretary of STME Society, Shri Satish Chandra sir, to accord a graceful welcome to His Holiness Shri 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 Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji. Thank you, sir. Date His Excellency P.S. Sridharan Pillai, sir. Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Ashok Ariga, Senior Advocate, Mangalore, to welcome Shri Vinay Hegde. Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Manikanta, President of Kasaragod Bar Association, to accord a cordial welcome to Dr. Satish Chandra. Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Krishnappa Gowda, Vice President of Puttur Bar Association, to cordially welcome Shri Narayan Bhatt. Thank you. May I now request Shri Devdas Rao, Senior Advocate, Mangalore, to kindly welcome Shri Prithviraj Rai. Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Pradeep Rao, Secretary of Kasargod Bar Association, to cordially welcome Shri Sridhar Yanmakaje. Thank you, sir. We are also honored by the presence of Advocate Rita Sridharan, beloved wife of His Excellency Shri P.S. Sridharan Pillai. The lighting of the lamp. This ritual transcends cultures and traditions, signifying the dispelling of darkness and illumination of knowledge, hope, and positivity. May I now invite the dignitaries to kindly step forward.
प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अत्यन्तबालम् अतसी कुसुमप्रकाशं दिग्वाससं कनकभूषणभूषिताङ्गं विसृस्तकेशम् अरुणाधर्मायदाक्षं कृष्णं स्मरामि मनसा नवनीतहस्तं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಬಾರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇವರ ಆಭಿಮುಖ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ SDM ಲಾ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಮತ್ತು ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಜುಬ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಎಡನೀರು ಮಠ ಇವರ ಜಂಟಿ ಸಹಯೋಗದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಕೇಶವಾನಂದ ಭಾರತಿ ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆಯ 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಸರಣಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ಈ ವಿಚಾರ ಗೋಷ್ಠಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾನೂನು ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಸಭಾಂಗಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಂಪನ್ನಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಕಮಿಟಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರು ಅದರ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿದರು. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 3-4 ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಇವತ್ತು ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇವತ್ತು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. 1970ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇರಳ ಭೂ ಸುಧಾರಣಾ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ಮಠದ ಸುಮಾರು 400 ಎಕರೆಗಳಿಗಿಂತಲೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏನು ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳಿವೆ ಅದು ಒಕ್ಕಲುಗೊಳಪಾಲಾಯಿತು. ಸ್ವಾಭಾವಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮಠದ ಆದಾಯ ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಕುಂಠಿತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಅದರ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಹೂಡಿದಂತಹ ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆ ಕೇಶವಾನಂದ ಭಾರತಿ ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆ. ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇದರ 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಆಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರೋ ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿದರು, ಕೇಸನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಸೋತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಅನ್ನೋದಾಗಿ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಅದು ಕಕ್ಷಿದಾರರು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋತಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ವಿಷಯವಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಆ ಕೇಸಿನ ಫಲಶ್ರುತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಗೌರವಿಸುವಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ, ನಾವು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಪಡುವಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಗೆದ್ದಿದೆ. ಆ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಆಚರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಒಂದರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಪಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ. ಹಾಗಿರುವಾಗ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗವನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡುವುದು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಒಂಥರ ಚಕ್ರದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ಕಾಪಾಡುತ್ತದೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗವನ್ನು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಕಾಪಾಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಿರುವಾಗ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳಾದಂಥ ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸಿದಾಗ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬದ್ಧರಾಗಿ ನಾವು ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ದೇಶ ಐಕ್ಯತೆಯಿಂದ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಸುಭಿಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಲವಷ್ಟು ಗೊಂದಲಗಳನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಿರುವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬದ್ಧರಾಗಿ ಅದರ ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಾಲಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಅಂತಹ ಗೊಂದಲಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಪ್ರಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ದೇಶದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌರವ, ದೇಶದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಬೆಳೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಕಾರಣ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂತಹ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂಥ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಶವಾನಂದ ಭಾರತಿ ಮೊಕದ್ದಮೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಯುವ ಪೀಳಿಗೆಗೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನು ಅದರ ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವವರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ವಕೀಲರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿದಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಲ್ಲಿಗೂ ಇದು ತಲುಪಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಈ ಕೇಸಿನ ಮಹತ್ವ ತಿಳಿಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿಯೂ ಆ ಕೇಸಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣಗಳು ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಇಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ನಡೆಯಲಿವೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಅರಿವಿರುವಂಥ, ಕೇರಳದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಹಿರಿಯ ನ್ಯಾಯವಾದಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಗೋವಾ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ PS ಶ್ರೀಧರನ್ ಪಿಳ್ಳೆ ಅವರು ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂತೆಯೇ ಇವತ್ತು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಭಾಷಣದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಕೇಸಿನ ಫುಲ್ ಬೆಂಚ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 13 ಜನ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರು ವಿಧಿ ಬರೆದಂತಹ ಕೇಸ್ ಇದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡದವರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಿನ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ KS ಹೆಗಡೆ ಅವರ ಸುಪುತ್ರರಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ N ವಿನಯ್ ಹೆಗಡೆ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ STM ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಇದರ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸತೀಶ್ ಚಂದ್ರ S ಅವರು ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಬಾರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದರ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ K ಪೃಥ್ವಿರಾಜ್ ರೈ ಅವರು ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಡನೀರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಆಸ್ಥೆ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ತಾರಾನಾಥ್ ಅವರಿದ್ದ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಾರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದರ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಸತೀಶ್ ಅವರು ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಜುಬ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ M ನಾರಾಯಣಭಟ್ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಂತೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ನೀವಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಹಿರಿಯ ವಕೀಲರುಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಆರಾಧ್ಯ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿ ಗೋಪಾಲಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಆಯುರಾರೋಗ್ಯ ಭಾಗ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡಿ ಕಾಪಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಲಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಶಯವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಮಾತಿನಿಂದ ವಿನಮಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ.
Much obliged by your words. Moving forward, our invited guest of honor today is Shri Vinay Hegde, Chancellor, Nitte deemed to be University, a renowned philanthropist who has made a significant contribution to educational sector. It is an honor to have you with us, sir. He is one such personality who brings wealth of knowledge and experience that we believe will greatly enrich us. May I kindly request you, sir, to address the gathering.
Honorable Governor of Goa, Mr. Sridharan Pillai, Paramapuja Swamiji of Ednur Mutt, respected guests on the dais, off the dais, my dear students. I am called here to speak about the KESHAVANANDA case, but there are a large number of law students here. They must understand the circumstances in which the Constitution of India has been trampled with. Almost 107 times amendments have been brought in. Fundamental right of property has been amended. Civil rights have been amended. So-called structure of the Constitution not amended a very few items. As a law student, you must understand, Indian Constitution is based on the British Constitution. Great Britain doesn't have a written constitution. The Constitution is largely based on convention, and hardly it has been amended. Dr. Ambedkar, one of the greatest eminent person who draw the Constitution, must be moving in his grave by the number of times it has been amended. I have to tell you that when the Constitution was brought in the Constitution Assembly, it was general opinion of the people that Constitution, the right of Parliament, should be limited to educated people. And possibly at that time, large number of people were in the thinking of the same line. Very insignificant member of the Constitution stood up and told the House that by bringing this law, you are keeping about 70% of the people out of the ambit of the Constitution. For the simple reason they do not have educational background. The greatness of Dr. Ambedkar was, he readily agreed with it, apologized, and he brought in that amendment before the Constitution was formed. Thereafterwards, I'm supposed to speak on KESHAVANANDA case. I would like to say something prior to KESHAVANANDA case. The first constitutional case which was considered by the Parliament, was the A.K. Gopalan case. The Government of India, based on the precedent set by the British government, possibly made it inconvenient for Mr. A.K. Gopalan to have his civil right. It went to the Supreme Court, and it was fought again by one other lawyer of Dakshina Kannada, Mr. M.K. Nambiar. M.K. Nambiar, who is also an eminent citizen of Kerala, he held that the law keeping A.K. Gopalan out of the civil right is incorrect, and the Supreme Court upheld that order. That's one part of it. The second part was the property right, the civil right, everything came again to the Supreme Court under the Goloknath case. And the Goloknath case, the Supreme Court upheld that the fundamental rights, which whether it included the property right, maybe it was instigated by the Privy Purse, multiple other issues, is you cannot amend it. My own feeling about it is, it was a landmark judgment, which was reversed largely by the KESHAVANANDA case. But in the case of KESHAVANANDA case, every area, including the civil right, was amended. And people in the euphoria of a socialistic democracy dealt with the fundamental rights of the people. The basic structure has not changed, but if you really get into the details, it has changed. I will take you to why I am making this comment. Why did the emergency come? The emergency came in because Mrs. Gandhi's election from Uttar Pradesh to Parliament was held illegal. And it went to the Supreme Court. And pressure was put on the Supreme Court to reverse the UP High Court judgment. And this is the beginning. And thereafterwards, emergency was brought in. Emergency, when it was brought in, most of the learned people believed emergency was the right step. I would not say most. So-called learned people, India is a emerging democracy. There must be some restriction on the civil right. There must be some restriction on the property right and multiple other issues. And they said Gokalnath case must be reheard. So, as the earlier speaker said, the KESHAVANANDA came largely related to the property right. It was against the land reform bill which the Kerala government brought in, questioning that. Then it is enlarged into a constitutional case. As a constitutional case, as I understand, majority of the judges possibly believed that the Supreme Court doesn't have the right. But so much of pressure was brought in that 7:6 the judgment came in that they have the right to make many changes except the fundamental rights, so-called fundamental rights. Thereafterwards, all of you know what happened in this country. The life of the parliament was extended, life of the right to people in jail was also accepted by the Supreme Court. And you should understand that the two judges who were part of the judgment, including the KESHAVANANDA case, after the fall of the Indira Gandhi government, wrote articles in leading papers that we regret our decision in the KESHAVANANDA case for the simple reason, out of fear we have given that judgment. I personally feel the Supreme Court of India giving a judgment out of fear is something possibly unacceptable. And then I want you to look back. The emergency was brought to extend the life of the parliament. The parliament, which has 5 years' life, was extended. At that point of time, no time limitation was put. They enjoyed office for the 6th year, and possibly thereafterwards, looking at the political mood of the government, they went for the election. I think this sort of changes happening in the parliament, dabbling with the constitution. I personally feel KESHAVANANDA case, maybe I'm not saying with the definite conviction, property right possibly maybe to an extent could be amended, but fundamental rights cannot be extended. For a simple reason, the privy purse, where a government made solemn assurance to former Maharajas that when they give up their right to rule those states, the government will give them a privy purse. That was amended. And I personally feel if you don't have commitment to the people, what commitment you make to the people, what commitment you make in the judiciary. Now, what was the consequence of the KESHAVANANDA case? KESHAVANANDA case said fundamental rights in a limited way is sacrosanct. But the parliament has a right to change majority of the area. And what was the consequence? Consequence was bringing in emergency. I personally feel emergency should have been struck down on the day one, because the heart of the Indian democracy is the parliamentary system and the people's right to change the government once in 5 years. I think when you dabble with it and still say this judgment has the blessing of the God, of the parliament, you also should remember, I am not going to name, Two of the judges were part of that Goloknath case as well, not Goloknath, Keshavananda case. Later wrote editorials. They became later Chief Justice of India, regretting their own judgment. But the question you should now take, why did the three judges who upheld the right of Keshavananda case were not appointed as the Chief Justice of India? Justice K.S. Shetty, Justice Shalit, Justice Grover, they were simply on the evening of the previous that day said, you are not going to be the next Chief Justice. And they also said that the next Chief Justice possibly will be not on seniority. Little I understand, Justice Matthew, who was a Supreme Court judge from Kerala, he was first offered the Chief Justice post. As I understand, he refused to accept the offer of becoming the Chief Justice because he said it's irregular. Then it was offered to somebody. I'm not getting into any political area. But what I'm trying to say that if Britain, United States, Germany, etc., have a constitution which is sacrosanct, which every citizen of this country accept, including the political system, they must accept people's right must not be dabbled by passing on that right to the parliament. And I believe these are fundamental issues which was raised in the Keshavananda case. Though people may say the case originated from the land reform bill, Keshavananda Swamiji went to the Supreme Court with that particular item, that comes under the property right. And possibly the Supreme Court would have upheld that right. A lot of changes have happened. Banks have been nationalized, airlines have been nationalized, multiple private institutions have been. But one fundamental issue in everywhere, due compensation must be paid to the people whose property you are taking over. And in all the cases, due compensation was not paid. And I believe the large number of young lawyers are here. You must believe that the Constitution of India is not a common law. The Parliament has a right to change the common law, but fundamental right, clearly explained, should not be amended. That's my, as an elderly person, that's my mental thinking. And I believe that this right is like something like your heart, which cannot be changed every day. You may know, so I would like you to go back to the German Constitution. In the German Constitution, fundamental rights cannot be changed unless you go for a referendum on this subject. The people should decide what should be the law, and the Parliament doesn't have a right to change the fundamental rights. And these are many things possibly. Swamiji's case has opened up many cases where multiple cases have fought in the Supreme Court. The uncertainty still continues. On full stops, commas, even the lower courts are now overruling the Keshavananda case where limited rights were given. And that has been amended by lower court. I think these are issues which should be discussed by eminent people. There are a large number of lawyers here. You must openly speak, and you must bring about changes like Britain, like Germany, like United States. Fundamental rights in all areas of civil right cannot be amended. And I sincerely believe, I don't want to get deep into the Keshavananda case. Unfortunately, my father was part of it and he was overlooked. So I don't want, because nobody should think these are views which I make now is because of the overlooking of my father for the Chief Justice post. No, definitely no. He has held higher post later, so I have no complaints on that. But I think people must understand, people who represent you in the Parliament work within ambit of a clear defined area, that fundamental rights of the people cannot be changed by a 5-year government. It has to continue. Once they believe this is the right of the people and this cannot be changed by a parliament which has a life of 5 years, and a parliament's life of 5 years cannot be changed. Yes, you can give example in some countries the parliament functions for 6 years, 7 years. Could be right. Then go to the people. Try to amend the law. But not the parliament. The people must amend the law. People say too much of money is being sent on a 5-year parliament. Yes, we would like to have a 7-year parliament. Perfectly all right. And I believe that you as young lawyers must have an open mind. I am more privileged to speak here because Honorable Governor of Kerala is an integral part of Dakshina Kannada, where we and part of Kerala were together in the old Madras state. And maybe the Honorable Governor, if I apologize if I am wrong, he comes from Talicherry. If it is correct, if it is correct, we were part of one state, that is the Madras state. In 1954, when the state reorganization took place, the Malabar districts was given to Kerala rightly. Maybe unrightly, the Kasaragod and nearby places were given from Kerala to from Karnataka to Kerala. I'm not making any comment on that. As only a matter of information, Honorable Governor must be knowing it, that we were all part of one state until 1954. In 1954, state reorganization brought in a change which ultimately resulted in a good part of Dakshina Kannada was given to Kerala. So I'm not making any comment on that. It could be a very right decision, and I respect that the Honorable Governor has agreed to come and speak and enlarge my knowledge on politics, enlarge my knowledge on constitution, civil rights, so that all of us move out of this hall with greater knowledge. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The law students and the law fraternity here would definitely agree with the concept of basic structure and importance in the constitutional jurisprudence. We are highly grateful to you, sir. Thank you. Moving forward, the topic of today's lecture promises to take us on a fascinating journey into the depth of Indian constitutional jurisprudence. May I now request Dr. Satish Chandra, Honorable Secretary of STM Society Ujire, to guide us through unique perspectives.
Om Shri Manjunathaya Namaha, offering my prayers to Lord Manjunatha Swami, seeking the blessings of His Holiness Shri Shri Sachidananda Bharati Swami Jednirmat, and also in his absentia, seeking the blessings of our Reverend President Dr. D. Virendra Heggadeji, the President of SDM Group of Institutions, and Dharmadhikari of Shri Kshetra Dharmasthal, Honorable Guest of Honor, the Chancellor of Nitte deemed to be University, most respected Shri N. Vinayak Dey Sir, His Excellency, the Honorable Governor, State of Goa, Shri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, all the dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning to all of you. I'm not going to take much of your time, especially in amidst of the luminaries and stalwarts in the field of legal aspects. I would like to just congratulate the Mangalore Bar Association and Organizing Committee Golden Jubilee celebration of KESHAVANANDA Bharati Judgment at Nirmat and SDM Law College, Mangalore, for having conducted this kind of very meaningful, relevant guest lecture on KESHAVANANDA Bharati Judgment. I take this opportunity to render my gratitude and thanks to His Excellency, the Honorable Governor of State of Goa, Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, for coming over to our institution, SDM Law College, and made this day very memorable one and made our institution proud. Our institution, managed by the most respected Dr. D. Virendra Heggadeji, the religious head of Sri Kshetra Dharmasthal, is known for especially its 4 important kinds of charity work for the last 800 years, known as Annadana, Aushadadana, Vidyadana, and last but not the least, the most important one, Abhayadana, which means the legal support to especially the downtrodden class of the societal people. That being the case, our Reverend President established the law school here in Mangalore with the sole purpose of providing, or rather enriching, the legal education in this part of the country. And I am very proud to say that this institution has produced great advocates, great lawyers and judges. And I'm not going to name any one of them because we have got galaxy of good advocates and judges produced from this great institution. I take this opportunity once again to thank Sri N. Vinay Heggadeji, the great educationist and a guide, mentor to all of us, for his wonderful message on the topic. Once again, I thank all the dignitaries on the dais, and I request the young lawyers, law students here to carry forward the message given by the honorable judges, honorable guests, and Honorable Sri Vinay Heggadeji in his wonderful speech. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Your presence and guidance always keeps us inspired. Thank you. It is my distinct honor to announce the much anticipated moment of the gathering. We are privileged to have with us today a leader whose guidance and vision has shaped many young minds. I'm delighted to invite our esteemed guest, His Excellency Shri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Governor of Goa, to share their thoughts, insights and perspective on the landmark judgment and its implication on constitutional jurisprudence.
Pujaniya Sachidananda Bharat Swamiji, Honorable Vinay Heggadeji, Dr. Satish Chandraji, the Principal Dr. Taranathji, my friend Narayan Bhattji, President of the Bar Association Prithviraj Rai, distinguished guests, and my dear friends. I am extremely happy to participate in this program because this historical city, Mangalore, especially the Bar Association, this Saraswati Mandir, the Law College, and Edanir Madha took initiative for this type of program. I think our Indian society, whether they are duty bound to celebrate the golden jubilee of Keshavananda Bharati judgment and its ins and outs. But unfortunately, there is no effort on the part of our country to look into it while it is completing 50 years. And that lacuna is to a very great extent now corrected by and give an impression to the people at least that this judgment was there, and still it is an important document to be followed for the protection of our democracy and parliamentary system. Before I am going to the subject, of course, Hegdeji put two aspects before all of us. I am not trying to answer it or discuss with that. I know the limitations of a governor. Being the head of a state, I am restrained myself. But one basic question now, who is supreme under our constitution and system followed by us? Whether Supreme Court is supreme, whether Parliament is supreme, whether Governor is supreme, whether Chief Minister is supreme. So this question needs some discussion, at least some discussion. I am using the word some. I am not the authority to say about all those things. When I heard the speech, whether Parliament, of course Parliament is the forum through which the people's wishes, their desire, their decisions are reflected. The most important question, I am not going to this subject now, before that I want to discuss that aspect also. Article 395 is there. Article 395 is a repealing provision. Under repealing provision, I am addressing advocates and law students. Article 395 is not discussed in detail, no need of discussing. It is repealing certain provisions. In 1947, British Parliament passed the legislation for giving freedom to us. That is repeal. And 1935 Act also a repeal. It is a repealing provision. And when we plainly dealing with the legal concept in our country, you see, if Mother Act is repealed, then subsequent rules and so many things, whether it is having any legal entity, is a question. My answer is yes, 395 is correctly included in the Constitution and repealed. If it is not repealed, what will be the ultimate end? Ultimately, our freedom must be, or depicted at least, as a gift by British people. That is why in 1922, Mahatma Gandhi in one of his articles stated that we want our own freedom. We don't want a gift from anybody, including Britain. That was a stand taken by our forefathers, and that is why 395 is added. Then 395 added, then the question, you see, the most important question, then who will be the author of the Constitution? Who will be the author of the freedom? That is why in the first portion it is added, we the people. So according to me, the people are supreme and all other systems are just below. Below, I am not using it as an insulting term or lowering term. Equal or little bit ahead is by the people of this country. Governor, MLA, minister, everybody is bound to serve the people, and that is my personal concept. Not as a governor I am stating this. So Parliament is concerned also. I am fully supporting this KESHAVANANDA Bharati verdict, because I have prepared my speech and I am having not much time to explain all these things. So our program was expected to be as per the minute by minute program before 10:30. Now 10:50 or something. So I also want to go for some other program in Kerala. So I am not going to that. And for the press people, a prepared speech is given. Keshavananda Bharati case is concerned, I have given a heading, was a safety valve for parliamentary democracy. Cooker we are all using in our houses. The cooker boiling process was going on. You see, if not a safety valve is there, completely explosion will be there, it will disintegrate into pieces, that cooker. I want to compare it with our parliamentary system in 1970s. I am not confined to 73 alone or emergency regarding that our Hegdeji detailed out. But 1970 to 75, what went in our country is a matter to be looked into. According to me, if this safety valve was not there, Indian democracy, Indian parliamentary system, our ethos and all those things will be defaced, at least defaced, irreparable loss to our country would have happened. That is why Keshavananda Bharati case was a safety valve for parliamentary democracy in India. I am not expected to go to the politics. I was little confused. Anyway, Hegdeji referred certain names and certain aspects there. So I think it is a permission for me to use certain things. In our democratic system, we are all always considering power politics is the real politics. Yes, that is true. Power politics is playing its own vital role. But whether it is a final role, if that is so, in independent India, Gandhiji was not even a member of any political party and he kept away from political activities. But if you put a question to you, who was the best politician, public worker in the last century? Our answer is, I am sure that Mahatma Gandhiji. So whether it is connected to power politics? And if we put a question, 1977, of course 75 and 77, Hegdeji referred about that. And in that aspect also, you see, who was Jayaprakash Narayan? In 1948, Nehruji wrote a letter to Jayaprakash, you please join with my cabinet. Then he refused. Then another letter wrote to JP by Jawaharlal Nehruji. His reply was that, in that letter it is stated that you will be the future Prime Minister of India. The reply of Jayaprakash Narayan was that, no, I don't want Chief Minister, Prime Ministership or any post. I want to serve the people. I am going on with that process. In 1977 also, K.S. Hegde, Honorable our leader from this area, judge from this area, all of us Janata Party people requested Jayaprakash Narayan accept the verdict of the people in 1977, become the Prime Minister. He continued his opinion, no, I won't want any post, but I want to serve the people. And that is why Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister of India. But we are all living in a protocol era. Governor is supreme in a state in a protocol. But you see, in the protocol, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was first person in India, Rashtrapati and the Prime Minister. Whenever Prime Minister wanted to meet Gandhiji, number one in the protocol, he always always went to Varda Ashram and meet Gandhiji. And where is the protocol? In 1977, Jayaprakash Narayan was always in Patna. Whenever the number one in the protocol, whenever he wants to go and meet Jayaprakash Narayan, It is not proper on the part of a protocol that highest person go to that aspect. I am not going to the details because of the time lag is there. You see, Morarji Desai, number one in the system, he always went to Patna and meet Jayaprakash Narayan. I am stating this because you see, this is a system. If I want to see Pujaniya Swamiji, Swamiji is nobody in protocol, but I am always preferring to go and meet him and seek for his blessings. This is a tradition of our country, and that is why I would like to say His Holiness Keshavananda Bharati Swamiji Saraswati is a continuation of our sannyasi system. In our sannyasi system, you see, our freedom struggle started at the instance of whom? Can anybody can rule out the name of Swami Vivekananda? Can anybody can rule out the name of names of Bankim Chandra Chatterjee of Anand Math? Can anybody can rule out the role of Maharshi Aravinda of Pondicherry, great revolutionary? Can anybody can rule out the name of Vivekananda or Maharshi Dayananda Saraswati of Arya Samaj? So those sannyasis, they are classic examples of the fight for the protection of Dharma. They fought against injustice, and their activities reflected the great tradition of sannyasis. And I would like to add the name of His Holiness Keshavananda Bharati also in that tradition. Keshavananda Bharati case, now 50th year. I don't know whether Hindu representative is here. You see, in April 2013, the Hindu Daily on Keshavananda Bharati's 40th anniversary published a very big article, and it is noted that the case saved Indian democracy, and thanked Keshavananda Bharati and the great lawyer Nani Palkiwala for the same. Then I would like to pose a question, why 50th year we are guilty of silence? I am not blaming anybody, So the case saved Indian democracy. Is it not our bounden duty to convey this message to the new generation? If I ask a question regarding Keshavananda Bharati case and situation at that time, I am sure that my fraternity, I am also a fraternity of law. Can anybody say, authoritatively can we say, authentically can we say, what does it contain? What was the message? So that is why I am very sorry to say that we have only thinking about today, tomorrow's, these types of Keshavananda Bharati case and other things. We will have to convey it to generations for the betterment of our democracy, saving our democracy. If I want to say something about that, I don't know whether the political situation also needs to be referred in my speech. Anyway, I would like to say all the students, all the historical students, law students and citizens who wants to guarantee the protection of our democracy, parliamentary system, just we will have to go through the situation at that time. In free India, 1947 to 1967, or 68 or 69, free flow of democracy. Our traditional, our ethical, All these things were considered by ruling party, opposition party, non-party people, all political parties. They are in tune with that. Their activities were going on at that time. But in 1969, unethical thing first time in the history of our country happened according to me. I am not mentioning in names, but you see our fourth Rashtrapati election was there. The political party which was ruling at that time, their entire body, their executive body, they met together in the presence of the Prime Minister, unanimously proposed a name for President election. That name I can say Sanjeeva Reddy. Then that party was actively canvassed and activities for the success of the candidate was going on. Honorable Prime Minister of that time, she was the signatory to the nomination paper, proposed or seconded, I don't know, I'm not remembering now. Then on the previous day of the election, secretly switched over to the opposite candidate V.V. Giri, and what happened, I need not go to that, that is a political activity. I would like to say, there starts in our politics degradation. V.V. Giri's side, due to this unethical stand, official candidate was defeated, and Sri V.V. Giri became the President of India from 24/8/1969 to 24/8/1974. First time, I am underlining, first time in the history of India, morality as well as ethics was put under partiality in politics due to the indifferent and undharmic, prevaricative attitude played by the highest person in the realm of power. So these are things, it's a part of history. And so many things are there. How Bhindranwale came into picture? Due to a political development in Punjab in 1967. A person not known to anybody. He was invited to the public field and became the hero and champion of all types of anti-national activities by opting violence. Did you hear about Nagarwala, a mimicry artist, we can say a mimicry artist. He posed the tune of voice of an highest person in India, and their unaccounted money that Nagarwala asked to give it to him, 60 lakhs rupees. I am not going to the details, you students think about it. And then what happened to Nagarwala? In a motor accident, he died. What happened to his investigating officer? A jeep accident, he died. These types of so many things are there. I am not going to Pondicherry and other things. There was a revolution. Goa University, Bihar University, Delhi, everywhere students were fighting against corruption, and that is why the matter referred by our Hegdeji emergency came to power. I am not going to the details. Our freedom curtailed in detail. Press censorship introduced in India. If Udayavani wants to publish a news item at about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, as per the press censorship rule, he will have to go to the collectorate. Censorship officer was there, and the signature has to be obtained before next day morning that paper is published. So many things are there. Fundamental rights are curtailed, suspended, and our HR Hegde, not HR Khanna, was a victim of that. I am not going to the details. You just go through his book, Neither Rose Nor Thrones, his historical, his biodata, his autobiography is there. You go through it. A person from our fraternity, within 2 months he will become the Chief Justice of India. That famous ADM Jabalpur case was under consideration. All the 4 judges on the one side, and he decided, yes, I am prepared to go to jail under Misa, and let Chief Justice go. I will stick on that. My dear lawyer friends, my dear law students friends, I would like to say, in Indian history, legal history, that dissent note in ADM Jabalpur case is now the law of the land. Even now it is there, and 4 judges majority view is thrown into dustbin. This is the people's will. My Hegdeji stated something about people. I don't know, in the presence of the press people, I don't know whether I am justified in saying one thing. Education and people, sir, my slight difference of opinion. Education is not the criteria for using franchise. That is proved in our country, because Kerala, you see literacy rate number 1, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, all the South Indian states. I had occasion to write a book on emergency. I analyzed all these things. Since our senior friend, my respected Hegdeji, referred with respect to that aspect, people's will and wish, I would like to say 10 states of India. Yesterday, an MP from Chennai apologized and withdrew the statement. I am not using it. I would like to say 1977 election, if you analyze the report, you can see 19 MPs from Kerala, 99% in favor of autocracy they voted. From Karnataka, his father and another MP, all others were supported. Whom? I am not mentioning the name. Andhra Pradesh, out of the 40. And at the same time, I am requesting all of you should study things properly. In 1977 election, 10 states, certain people just want to blame them. They are illiterate or whatever, maybe poor people. But that 10 states, if you analyze, in 1971, the political party which was ruling India, out of the 224 seats, 221 seats were got by ruling party in 1971, but in 1977 presidentship and all other things are there. Out of these 224, only 2 seats for the ruling party, and that is why in 1977 our country was saved from emergency and tyranny of that time, and our respected Hegdeji stated, I would like to say, the education is not the criteria for that. Our educated people of Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, what was their verdict at that time? And this 10 Pashu belt, it is called in Malayalam Pashu belt, go cow belt. The 10 cow belt people saved India from tyranny of the democracy face its tyranny and autocratic rule. Fundamental right is not there, press freedom is not there, and all your opponents without stating reason can be put in jail under MISA or DAR. Such a type of thing, Shah Commission has stated that This it was illegal also, without cabinet decision, arbitrarily decided and other things. I am not going to that subject. Anyway, I have written a book. My 100th book was that there in 2017. Honorable Prime Minister released that English book. I can proudly say I had occasion to study all these things, and that is why I added in the light of our respected Hegdeji's speech. So, we are all dealing with this subject. Before the law students, I would like to say one thing. We are only connected with the fundamental rights and other things. We are even now stick on that. That is the most important thing. There is no doubt about it. But you would say one thing. In India, before Keshavananda Bharati verdict, you see Barbary case. One Barbary case was there. You law students look into that and study. And the verdict which says that the preamble is not an integral part of the Indian Constitution and not enforceable in a court of law. So preamble should be avoided from the consideration, and that was the law of the land till our Keshavananda Bharati's case come into limelight. You see, Keshavananda case overruled it and recognized that the preamble may be used to interpret ambiguous areas of the Constitution. In interpretation aspect, I would like to say even the three organs of our Constitution, executive, legislature and judiciary. If you go through the entire Constituent Assembly discussions, nobody anticipated, nobody predicted, nobody thought of one organ should trespass into the another part and play such a role. That was not anticipated in India. So under our Constitution, if one wing, other wing and third wing infringing and violating the things and going to the other, what is the remedy available? There is no direct reply to that remedy available under our Constitution. That is why I would like to say all this executive, judiciary and legislative keep their path properly. Their Lakshmana Rekha should be properly be maintained, and in that way we will have to protect our system, including our Constitution. Then coming the question of interpretation also. I don't know whether I can go to details of that, but I am always believing in one Bharat concept, that is Anobhadra Kradavo Yanda Vishwandaka. Let noble thoughts come from everywhere, from anywhere, everywhere. Our hearts are open, we are prepared to receive it, evaluate it, either accept it or reject it. We are not only the Indian society. Bharatavarsha is the only country in the world, only civilization in the world, always welcoming all types of thought from other parts of the world. That is why in India we welcome all the 12 religions known to the world, important religions known to the world. Given opportunity to them, free of cost land was given, propagation opportunity was given, and that is why we can say Sarva Dharma Samabhava is the motive of our country. Under such circumstance, I don't know, I am not going to the details because I am a governor. Look West policy. We can look into West, receive good things, but look West policy in law, whether it is good for our country, our culture, our tradition and the present legal system is a question mark. I want to put it to you. You see, what is the most important slogan of Supreme Court? Yado dharma stado jaya. You see, yado dharma stado jaya. That all Pandits are before me. In English, what is the meaning of the word dharma? They are saying simply religion. Even Supreme Court in 2007, 13 SEC 246 in para 18 and 19, and Supreme Court of India in Narayana Dikshit versus State of Andhra Pradesh 1996 9 SEC stated that the word dharma is not confined to religion. No equivalent word in English. So we will have to look into our culture, our tradition, our land, our soil, our people, and first priority for interpreting the same. I can read one paragraph and students you go into that. The Supreme Court held that, 2007 citation, Supreme Court held that it is a matter of great regret that we still quote Western orders like Maxwell, Cranes, etc. Cranes, I think the law that is, etc. for legal principles of interpretation to be followed by the courts. In its judgment, the Upper Court said that the so-called educated people of our country are ignorant of the great intellectual achievements of our ancestors. The Upper Court referred to the great ancient jurists who had applied the legal rules known as Bimansu rules laid down by the ancient jurist Jaimini in his sutras. The Upper Court remained that our constitution does not say that you have only follow Maxwell. Maxwell is following, I am not against that, the part of curriculum. You follow that. In the landmark judgment in para 60, Dharma embraces every type of righteous conduct covering every aspect of individual's life. A state of Dharma is required to be always maintained for peaceful existence and prosperity of all. When Dharma is used is the conduct of duties of an individual and purpose of the state, it is called constitutional law or Raja Dharma. This is not Sridharam Pillai's opinion. This is a part of a judgment. Under Article 142, it is applicable to all of us. Then explains the meaning of Yado Dharma Stado Jaya also in para 17. You go to the library and look into that aspect. Time is not there. Then Article 142 also interpreted by Supreme Court. We are having only deaf ears to that aspect. It confers the widest power in the highest court of the country to do complete justice. The constitutional power to enable the apex court to attain the highest possible objective to render justice, even if the law in a particular case says otherwise. It is not our constitution exemplifying the ideals of Dharma. So Article 142, special powers for complete justice. You are expected to look into, a judge is expected to look into the dharmic concept of our state. And that is why Swami Vivekananda in September 11, 1893, he declared and won over the entire world by these words. We believe, quote, we believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. This was the declaration of our Swami Vivekananda. Albert Einstein once stated, quote, the ancient Indians taught us how to count and mathematics, and we owe to them a lot without which it would not have been practical to make most recent scientific discoveries. Who else is there other than Einstein? That Einstein says It would not have been practical to make most recent scientific discoveries. So whether we are giving due importance to concept of dharma? Mark Twain, India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother and legend of the great grandmother of tradition. Anything that can ever be done either by men or God has been done in this Bharat land. So my request is that in our legal field also, we are on the march of become the Vishwaguru of the world. We should give importance that, and I am not going to take much of your time. My speech is there, so certain other points are also there, and I would like to say that we will have to study our law by look-west policy may not be a panacea for all, and we will have to depend on that aspect in detail. Yado dharma sado jaya is a concept, but the recent judgments, I am afraid of press people, that is why I am not saying anything. Now, for all those things, Western. A men marry a men or like that? We are looking to what? Western. In our concept, we are perfect, and that is why I would like to say that people are supreme. All public workers, irrespective of caste, creed, or politics, serve the people, and through that process, we will be able to become the Vishwaguru of the world, and that is why His Holiness KESHAVANANDA Bharathi, his efforts, of course, Swamiji is here. In that case, specifically, particularly, or result-wise, they didn't get anything. But for the society, your contribution should remain forever. I congratulate the Madha for this achievement, and I am suggesting, Narayan Bhattji is one of my best friends. We conduct within 1 month a program of this Golden Jubilee program in Delhi or some other place, and we want to take our HH KESHAVANANDA Bharathi to Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta. I am extending my sincere support for that cause. And one more thing I want to say, Edo Dharma Stado Jaya, our emblem of Supreme Court. You see, Gandhari, Duryodhana approached Gandhari, the beloved mother, for blessing to win in that war, Dharma Yuddha. Gandhari, what was the answer given by Gandhari at that time? We will look into that. I think Indian courts should give more serious consideration for this basic concept of dharma. And Yado dharma stado jaya, where there is dharma, there will be the victory. On the eve of the Kurukshetra war, when Duryodhana approached his mother Gandhari for blessings for the victory of the war, she did not tell, underline, she did not tell, be victorious my son. She never blessed, be victorious my son. If my son is approaching my wife, she will say, my son, you will be victorious, I am blessing. Instead of that, she stated, Yatho dharma stado jaya. This is the most historical, our dharmic concept, and I would like to say, our Bharat, Yado dharma stado jaya. May victory find the side of rightness. This shows the specially greatness of our Bharat, and I am concluding my speech because I want to say so many things due to lack of time, because I want to go. That is why I am not going to the other things. That is my printed speech. So some things are there. Those students who are interested may go through it and you form your own opinion. In a democracy, a right to differ is the basic right of every citizen. So in India, only one party is there. We can't say a democratic country. In democratic country, different types of political parties may work, but we will have to accept and respect. And the word enemy, political enemy, I never used in my life. They are political opponents, and we are approaching the people. People's verdict would prevail over all other things, and that is why I have not mentioned certain political incidents not connected to power politics, but a history is also required for the proper evaluation of this judgment, and that is why used. Yes, I am sure that so many persons sitting here are connected to that political ideology at that time also. Now they are following it. Nothing wrong in it. And one more thing, you remember, I am not criticizing democracy. After this judgment, that is there in my speech, but after this judgment also, you see, shame for all of us that on the new Chief Justice A.N. Ray made a serious attempt to overrule KESHAVANANDA Bharati case. You can't see all those things in our legal history. I don't know whether suppressed or not. I am not making any comment. On 10th and 11th November 1975, Justice Ray constituted a 13 judges bench to review KESHAVANANDA Bharati case. 2 days, Palkiwala argued. 13 judges were there. What is the authority to do it? Who moved the petition? That Chief Justice said that Advocate General from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, submitted like that. Then, I am not remembering his name, he stood up and stated that I never moved. An unfortunate situation in Supreme Court. 13 judges were sitting. 10th and 11th argument, full day, 11th and 10th November 75, argument was there, and on the next day, 13th, all the other judges stated that we are not going to sit and we are not going to decide, and that bench was dissolved. There are no records to review this bench. Please, press people are here. This is not my opinion. I will tell you, the account is provided in the book written by T.R. Andyarjuna, the KESHAVANANDA Bharati case, one lawyer, the untold story of struggle for supremacy by Supreme Court and Parliament. This type of heinous things happened in connection with this case, and one critic once stated that 3 senior judges are superseded. Why? They have given a judgment. Next day, within 24 hours, they were superseded, and the junior most Justice Ray was appointed as the Chief Justice. We are all believing in judiciary. Temple of Justice, whether magistrate or Supreme Court judge, we are bow before them. We are calling them as your lordship, just like a Swamiji or a Guru or a God. We are bestowing everything to them. Then 3 persons were, they have not committed any type of lapse, but including case superseded by because of political enmity or because of a free view expressed by those judges. Ray was appointed, and you see, a sincere person, if we want to protect the prestige of the judiciary or democratic norms of our country, he would say, no, I am not holding. 3 persons are competent. Justice K.K. Matthew, according to, I don't know that aspect. K.K. Matthew refused, according to them. But this 4th person accepted. That also is a shame. And that is why, in his remaining life, Justice Ray, in one interview, stated that I am always, in my entire life, I am sad. I am not a happy person. So, we must all try to become happy person and not sad persons. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Sir, for those enlightening words. I'm sure that the gathering is highly appreciative of the knowledge shared on Indian democracy and legal ethos. Once again, we thank you on behalf of all the members gathered here. Thank you, sir. We would now like to present a token of appreciation to all the dignitaries on the stage on behalf of the Edinir Mutt. May I request His Holiness Shri 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 Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji to accord his blessings to the dignitaries. May I request Shri Vinay Hegde sir to kindly receive the blessings from Swamiji. May I request Dr. Satish Chandra sir to kindly step forward. Shri Prithviraj Rai sir. Dr. Taranath sir. Shri Narayan Bhatt sir. Shri Sridhar Yanmakaji sir. May I request His Excellency Shri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Governor of Goa, to kindly release the departmental journal of SDM Law College, Lex Opus. May I request the dignitaries to join. I also request the research and publication team and the editorial team to kindly come on stage. Thank you. We will now be releasing a special issue, Lex Plus, collection of articles by students of SDM Law College. May I now request Shri Vinay Hegde sir to do the honors. Thank you, sir. We are gathered here for the momentous occasion, and it is my distinct pleasure to invite our esteemed President of Mangalore Bar Association, Shri Prithviraj Rai, to deliver the presidential address.
Just left Shri Sridharan Pillai, Shri Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji, Shri Yan Vinay Hegde, Dr. S. Satish Chandra, Principal of the College Dr. Tarnath, President of the Golden Jubilee Celebration Committee M. Narayan Bhatt, Secretary of the Mangalore Bar Association Sridhar Enmakajay, President of the Kasaragod Bar Association and Office Bearers of the Kasaragod Bar Association, World President of the Puttur Bar Association, and advocates from Mangalore and other places, and dear students, and also the old students of this college and the press. Few months back, it all started in Ednir with a plan to celebrate the Golden Jubilee celebrations. Initially, inauguration was done in Ednir in the presence of the Judge of the Supreme Court of India. Later on, recently in Mysore, on 2nd September, similar type of celebration was done, wherein Justice Banurmat and Justice Krishna Dikshit also participated. This is the third in the series. Perhaps we will be having few more celebrative events throughout India. And today we are very fortunate that in the presence of His Holiness Swamiji, we have been able to gather here, and Swamiji has been instrumental in collecting people, motivating them and making them to participate in this whole event. We are also fortunate that son of the former Judge of Supreme Court, Sri Vinay Hegde, is here, who shared with us some of his insights, who had the first-hand knowledge of the happenings when the KESHAVANANDA Bharati judgment was given. And we are also fortunate that SDM Educational Society, headed by Dr. Virendra Hegde, has been very kind, has provided us all support, and we have succeeded in organizing this function because of the support and all the help rendered by Shri Virendra Hegde ji and all the office bearers of the SDM Educational Trust, including the principal and members of the staff of this college and the students of this college. On this event, I would like to remember one statement given by Dr. Ambedkar on the 25th day of November 1959 at the Constituent Assembly. He said, after the preparation of the Constitution was over, if hereafter things go wrong, we will have nobody to blame. However good a Constitution may be, if it goes to bad hands, it cannot provide remedy. However bad Constitution may be, it goes to good hands, no harm will be caused. So all the efforts of the Constituent Assembly were summed up by Dr. Ambedkar. Here, the Constituent Assembly has given us the Constitution. For the past 7 decades, we have enjoyed the fruits of the Constitution. Now it is upon us to preserve the Constitution. Whatever changes we require, the Constitution itself has its own methods of changing the Constitution to our own requirement. But as far as the basic feature of the Constitution, which protects all of us, shall be retained, this can be done only with the vigilant citizens of this country. By arranging programs of this nature, we are bringing the aspect of constitutional rule or constitutional jurisprudence to the general public through the media and through the participants of these kinds of programs. So I am very happy that Mangalore Bar Association has been very fortunate to be part of this moment, and on this 50th year of KESHAVANANDA Bharati judgment, we are doing our own service to the society by bringing these facts to the knowledge of the public and making them aware about their rights and also need to preserve our Constitution. Thank you for participation of all, and I will be failing in my duty if I don't mention the presence of Captain Karnik and other dignitaries from Kasaragod Bar, the elderly people, senior lawyers also have come, and also my own friends from the Mangalore Bar Association, past presidents, and everybody is here. And I thank all of you, including the students and staff of this college. Thank you.
It is only fitting that we take a moment to express our gratitude to all those who have contributed to its success. Appreciation, I would like to invite Shri Sridhar Yenmakaje, Secretary of Mangalore Bar Association, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Respected Holiness and respected dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, and students, but felt in the heart, says Helen Keller. Indeed, on this auspicious day, from my heart flows the simple melody of gratitude for making this a day memorable one. First and foremost, I raise my heart with gratitude to thank His Excellency Sri P.S. Sridharan Pillai, Honorable Governor of the State of Goa, for his esteemed presence as a chief guest for this delightful morning. And his presence has added immense value to this gathering, and insightful speech has inspired and motivated all of us. And your leadership and commitment to have been a source of inspiration for all of us, and we are grateful for the wisdom you have shared with us, and your tireless efforts significantly contributed to the well-being and progress of people of different walks of life. So in his absence, I extend the gratitude to the Governor of Goa. As a token of love, gratitude, and a smallest kind of kindness is worth more than grandest intention. It gives me immense pleasure to express my gratitude to Sri Sachidananda Bharati Swamiji at Nirmat for lighting the lamp and gracing this great event. Thank you for your support and motivation to all of us by your gracious presence, sir. I request Sri Prithviraj Rai to offer a memento to Sri Sachidanand Swamiji on behalf of Mangalore Bar Association. With a deep sense of gratitude and privilege, as I extend my heartfelt thanks to esteemed Chancellor and the guest of honor, Sri N. Vinay Hegde, for gracing this momentous occasion. Your presence here has added a touch of distinction and grandeur to this event. Your leadership has been instrumental for excellence, innovation, and inclusivity among us. Thank you, sir. I request our President Prithviraj Rai to offer a memento to Sri N. Vinay Hegde. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Satish Chandra S., the Secretary, SGM Education Society, Ujire, for adding immense value by your gracious presence. We are grateful for the time you have taken out of your busy schedule to be with us today. Thank you, sir. I request our President to offer a memento to Dr. Satish Chandra S. I thank Dr. Tharanath, the Principal of SGM Law College and Center for Postgraduate Studies Research Center, Mangalore, for the countless hours you have devoted to planning, executing this event. Your dedication to enhance the Bar Association experiences has left an indelible mark in each and every one of us. Thank you, sir. I request Prithviraj sir to offer a memento to the principal. My heartily gratitude to Sri Narayan Bhatt, the President of the Golden Jubilee Committee of KESHAVANANDA Bharati case and Senior Advocate from Kasaragod. Thank you, sir, and I request our President to offer a memento. Gratitude to Sri K. Prithviraj Rai, the President of Mangalore Bar Association, for his visionary leadership that has guided us through challenges and achievements alike. Under your guidance, Bar Association has grown in both strength and spirit. Your commitment to fostering a sense of unity and inclusivity has made the Bar Association a friendly space for all members. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt gratitude to the senior advocates who are present here and who have participated from Mangalore Bar Association, and the president and office bearers of various bar associations, Mangalore, Kasaragod Bar Association, Puttur, Beltangadi, and all of the bar association office bearers and the members. With a heart full of gratitude, I express my sincere appreciation for the exemplary participation of our esteemed office bearers as well as the other members and the staff and management of the SDM Law College. Thank you. I take a moment to acknowledge the presence of the ex-MLC, Captain Carnage, sir. Thank you, sir. And my sincere appreciation goes out to the media for their tireless efforts in keeping the public informed and enlightened. The media serves as a fourth estate in our democratic setup to provide us with valuable insights about the numerous events. Their commitment to delivering accurate and timely information, often under challenging circumstances, deserves our utmost respect. Thank you. I extend immense gratitude to the dedicated and valiant police personnel who have always played an integral role in ensuring safety to our events. Their professionalism has been instrumental in creating a safe environment for all of us. And a special thanks to Miss Melita Norona, the master of ceremony of today's function. Thank you. Once again, a big thank to all.
Rise for the national anthem.
Thank you.